A Supreme Court ruling could have widespread impact on how much tax revenue local governments can receive. Good evening, this is CTV News for Monday, May 18th. I'm Byron Scott.
And I'm Sonia Shrivastava. Glad to have you with us tonight. We will get to that story in a minute, but first, a ceremony honoring the victims of last week's deadly Amtrak crash was held yesterday. Meanwhile, today officials resumed service along the route from D.C. up the Northeast Corridor where the incident happened. We talked to passengers about safety and any concerns they have. Denise Douglas has the latest from Union Station.
That's absolutely right. Service has resumed along the route where the deadly accident took place last week. The first train left here, Union Station, at 4 o'clock this morning, and clearly trains will be leaving and coming throughout the day. Officials are still trying to figure out what caused the accident that killed 8 people and injured 200 others. The train was traveling twice the speed as it went around a curve and derailed in Philadelphia. At a service honoring the victims of the accident yesterday, Amtrak President Joseph Boardman vowed that the train and its passengers, and I quote here, will never be forgotten, end quote. We talked with a number of passengers today about how they feel traveling as this train service along the route resumes.
After something like that, you're always afraid. But I still have to travel. I still have to count on Amtrak to make things safe. I'm not going to stop traveling to New York City. I have a job and I have a livelihood, so I will tell you that I'm here because my flight was canceled.
Well, actually, I thought about it in the middle of the night when I was preparing to travel, and in actuality, I think it'll be much safer because you can have birds fly into the engine. Already, they closed down the airport in New York City just now because of the fog system. So usually after an accident, people are much more alert, much more aware, and it's a larger safety issue for the establishment than it was before. So I feel pretty good.
Since the accident, Amtrak has put a number of safety measures into place, including new technology to monitor and correct train speeds, as well as new speed limit signs. The company is also initiating a study to look into potentially dangerous curves. I'm Denise Douglas, downtown, CTV News.
Thank you, Denise. And according to reports, 20 people injured in the crash remain in Philadelphia hospitals, 5 in critical condition, but are all expected to survive.
And the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled in a 5-4 decision that 2 states cannot tax the same income. Maryland's income tax law allowed for the state to tax residents on earnings made in another jurisdiction. The Supreme Court says a Maryland system is unconstitutional and that Maryland should have provided for a tax credit. The decision could spell financial woes for the state. Maryland will have to now refund the estimated $200 million to residents. Here in Prince George's County, officials say the financial hit would be about $2.5 million for fiscal year 2016.
We've already planned ahead. We obviously accept the Supreme Court decision. That is the final decision, in this land, and know that, Prince George's County is, we're going to take a little bit of a hit here, but we're going to keep on moving on. We're going to, hopefully regain this wealth through, commercial development, economic development.
The case was brought by a Howard County couple who challenged the provision.
Today, Exelon and Pepco say they will meet the 46 conditions set by state regulators for the merger of both companies to move forward. On Friday, Maryland Public Service Commission approved the $6.9 billion merger, but with conditions. Exelon president stated, quote, "It poses some stringent conditions that will be difficult to fulfill." The companies are awaiting approval by regulators in Washington, D.C. and Delaware.
And police are investigating 2 shootings that happened overnight in the county. Riverdale Park police were called to the 4500 block of Sheridan Street at about 2:30 this morning. When they arrived, they found a person with a gunshot wound. No word on that individual's condition. The second incident happening on the 3200 block of Reed Street, right across from the street from First Baptist Church of Glenarden. Police responded to a call of a vehicle crash. When they arrived at the Reed Street Apartments, they found the body of a man inside the car. Police say he was shot to death. He's been identified as 38-year-old Rupert Samuels of the district. Anyone with any information is asked to call police.
And you're watching CTV News. I'm Sonia Shrivastava.
And I'm Byron Scott.